Hello everyone, my name is Naomi, aka Nifty Nomi, and welcome to my channel, Be That Business. I'm a Canadian bookkeeper and a new business educator, and I help entrepreneurs look under the hood to see how it all works. I'm fighting the good fight against double work and against giving CRA more money than you have to. I've been putting out useful and interesting newsletters twice a month, on the 14th and on the 29th. If you prefer to read your newsletters, check out my sign-up link in the comments below. There is also a link to a transcript of today's newsletter. On to today's newsletter. Hello! Welcome to January 12th, 2024. If you have employees, let this be a reminder. Monday, January 15th, payroll taxes are due. Save time, pay online. Save money, pay on time. Now, have you considered going paperless? What do you need to keep in mind if you do? January's business hacks tackle this very question. Paperless tip number 1. Set up a good system and routine. If you plan on going paperless in 2024, know that it takes time and commitment. Not all documents come in PDF, and not all emails have actual relevant information. You will have to factor in the extra time it will take you to save and review the documents. For receipts, you'll need to carve out time to snap a picture of that receipt and have a plan in place for storing and saving that photo. Are you going to take a picture of every receipt as you get them? Or are you going to set a time aside every week to upload all of that week's receipts? Do you have an app or a cloud folder where you will be organizing and saving them ready to go? Similarly, most emails are not sufficient supporting documents. They are often a notice of a balance payable on a bill that is available to download from a portal. Are you going to log on and download those bills as you clear your inbox? Or are you going to take one day a week or one day every month to download all of the bills for that month from your suppliers? If you are using the document management software or app for bookkeeping, how are you going to communicate the payment details of unpaid bills? Is there an extra step that you can take in your routine when paying bills to keep this in mind? Side note, the payment details alone are not sufficient supporting documentation. The actual bills have the important details that are needed, and I'm going to say more on this later. I wouldn't suggest that you consider your email as a paperwork management system. I have had a lot of experiences working with CRA audits where the business owner saves email messages that don't have the right information, or the business owner is locked out of their old email accounts from 4 years ago, or they simply can't find what they need using the search function. Paperless tip number 2, apps aren't magic. Leveraging the power of apps and automation seems to be the chorus cry of Silicon Valley, and they aren't wrong. But it's not all magic and roses. Often there are upload problems and read issues, and different document management apps are designed for different purposes. Specifically choosing an app for accounting or bookkeeping document management will help reduce bookkeeping time, but it isn't a set it and forget it situation. Plan on setting time aside to learn how your app of choice processes and reads the documents you upload to it. Don't upload a year's worth of paperwork only to find out they haven't been uploaded correctly. You can't sync a single photo of 3 receipts to a bookkeeping file. They need to be one at a time. Uploading one page at a time of a multiple page bill causes more time wasted than it's worth. Also, apps can often read the dates incorrectly. Are they reading month, day, year, or are they reading it day, month, year? Or if it doesn't see a date, it just defaults to the date of the upload. So generally, don't upload more than a single month at a time before processing. This will help make processing the paperwork much easier if you know which month you're actually looking at, because then you can sort the uploads by date, the date that it reads as the date of the document, and then any uploads that are dated weird, you can just zoom right into and correct those dates. Never trust that it's 100% reading the info correctly. As you process the paperwork, you'll see the trends of what the app gets right and what the app gets wrong, and you'll be able to tailor how you upload things moving forward to save time and headaches. And you'll learn how it accepts and saves the paperwork if you take the time to review it once uploaded. When you forwarded that email, did it upload the email body as well, or did it only upload the attachment and ignore the email body? Now, there are a lot of apps to choose from. I list a bunch in my August newsletter on digitizing, and I have a link to that newsletter in the details below. Currently, I am using Dext. I like how it also reads the payment method. Oh, I love that. And I also like how it attaches the document to the QBO entry directly. HubDoc is liked and used a lot by my colleagues in the industry, though it only attaches a link to the HubDoc hosted file in the QBO entry. But HubDoc does have tags, which Dext does not. Both HubDoc and Dext also sync with various bookkeeping softwares and are also able to save documents that aren't associated with a bookkeeping entry in QBO, which is something QBO Receipts cannot do. Also, QBO Receipts' ability to read the paperwork correctly is seriously lacking. So for those two main reasons, I don't suggest QBO Receipts to be the solution for paperless management. Now, I'm not affiliated with any of these companies. I'm just speaking to my experience with them. There is a link to Dext and HubDoc in the description below. Also, DACA looks interesting too, but I haven't had a chance to play with that one yet. Also linked in the description below. Whichever one you choose to employ, carve out the time to learn it and review the paperwork you have uploaded to make sure they have uploaded correctly and legibly. Very important. Do not shred any paperwork until you know it is saved legibly and correctly, not blurry, not covered up, and not cut off. Paperless tip number 3, make sure all the info is on the document for it to actually be useful. You need to make sure you are uploading documents that have the information actually required. For bills and receipts, this is supplier name, bill date, sales tax breakdown, and payment method. Also, you'll need the customer or sold to name for larger amounts and the GST or HST number of the supplier charging the GST HST. I have a link in the description below of a table of what's specifically required by CRA. Now, if it's an unpaid bill, there won't be a payment method or a payment date. So for unpaid bills, you need to also consider how you are going to communicate to your bookkeeper when and how this was paid. Super tip, set your utilities to autopay. No one quite realizes how much time this actually saves. Payment info is no longer an issue for those on autopay, as well as a slew of other benefits that I covered in my July 2021 newsletter, also linked in the description below. Another point, don't just forward an email with a balance payable only, or forward an email that only has a link to another document, or just an email of confirmation of payment. This has none of the info listed above. Make sure you're sending the actual bill or the actual receipt. Also, when taking a screenshot of an online purchase, which is something that some people do choose to do, make sure to include the date of the transaction and the name of the supplier or website. With so many e-commerce businesses based on Shopify, it is amazing how many screenshots that I get of an order confirmation screen that doesn't have the date or the name of the website or the tax info or even how it's paid. So that's just something to keep in mind. Maybe the order confirmation email has more information there. Also, Amazon order confirmation emails have zero info on them. But with Amazon, you can connect directly to some document management apps with a little bit of effort for them to pull the documentation for you. And with Amazon Business, you can download all of the order documents within a time frame to a zipped folder. Now, this only works for Amazon Business currently, so there's another tip for paperless. Amazon Business is worth it. And one last tip here. When there are 2 receipts for one purchase, so generally one showing the details and the amount, and then the second one confirming the credit card actually worked, both of these receipts are needed. Just the payment receipt confirming that the payment worked is not enough, but it often includes important information such as maybe the tip and the payment method. So in these cases, upload one photo of both of the receipts side by side. What are your personal tips and tricks for creating efficient processes? I'd love to share them in an upcoming newsletter and give a shout out to your business. If you found this video useful, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'm on Instagram at BeThatBusiness. You can tweet at me, X at me, I'm at NiftyNomi, and I'm also at NiftyNomi on Twitch and TikTok. And you can find resources and courses about running a Canadian business on my website, naomiwilkins.ca. And you can also subscribe to my newsletter. On the 14th of the month, I remind you to pay your payroll taxes, and I also share 3 business hacks to make your entrepreneur life smoother, better, more efficient, and more successful. On the 29th of the month, I remind you to pay your sales tax, and I also list out all of the potential due dates that I'm aware of for the following month for you to populate your business calendar. And I also share 3 business resources or content that are useful and interesting for Canadian entrepreneurs. The video today was recorded in beautiful Gananoque, Ontario. Thanks for watching, and get out there and be that business that thrives.